What's going on, everyone? It's KB the Mark, back to bring you the news. On today's Wrestling Report, we have many stories, starting with two legends meet face-to-face for the first time on AEW television. Another CM Punk story is expected to break soon, and it's not looking good for AEW. Backstage news on MJF versus Hiroshi Tanahashi, and many more stories. Please don't forget to leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and push that notification bell to stay up to date. Now, without further ado, let's jump into the news. It looks like fans could see Drew McIntyre back on WWE television by the end of this month ahead of its next premium live event, Money in the Bank. McIntyre hasn't been seen since WrestleMania 39, where he worked a triple threat match for the Intercontinental title. Coming out of the show, it was reported that McIntyre is not happy with the creative direction of his character, and both sides are far apart on terms for a new deal, as his existing contract expires later this year, early 2024, depending on whether WWE will add time to his deal to make up for the time he's been out with an injury. The previous update was that WWE Creative was holding up his return. PW Insider Elite reported today there has been a push within WWE Creative to have him back in storyline mix by Money in the Bank weekend, which happens on July 1st, due to him being one of WWE's biggest European stars. There were meetings last week regarding pitches for McIntyre. The report added that the big crux in talks between the two sides right now is how McIntyre will be used on television and how meaningful the storyline will be. The former WWE champion doesn't want to aimlessly float around television because he has already proven his value to the company. While the company does want him to return by Money in the Bank, the belief is that until the two sides agree on an agreement about how he'll be used going forward, he won't be back on television. Miro is slated to make his return to AEW television this Saturday night on the premiere of Collision from Chicago, Illinois. The show will also feature the return of CM Punk when he teams with FTR against Jay White, Juice Robinson, and Samoa Joe in a trios match. Miro hasn't wrestled since he, Darby Allin, and Sting defeated the House of Black at September's All Out pay-per-view. He was kept off television until a one-off appearance on a May episode of Dynamite, where he did a backstage cameo where he was seen walking into the office of Tony Khan. While off television, AEW presented plans to him, but he didn't like what was pitched and turned them down, leading to the decision being made for AEW to keep him off television until they could agree on creative. Miro responded to a fan on Twitter who knocked AEW for putting him on a terrible show. Miro reacted by noting how the show could be terrible if it hadn't even started yet. Miro wrote, "How can it be terrible when it hasn't happened yet? The debut episode is this Saturday, June 17th, and the Redeemer will be there." The ratings for the latest edition of WWE NXT are in. The show drew 581,000 live viewers on the USA Network, which is down from the 615,000 viewers the show previously drew a week ago. It did a .16 rating in the 18 to 49 demographic. The show did a .17 rating 1 week ago. The show went up against the NHL Stanley Cup Finals on TNT, which drew 2.468 million viewers and a .79 key demo rating. It ranked number 8 in the top 150 shows on cable for the night, down from last week's number 5 ranking. The show on the same week last year did 612,000 viewers with the 18 to 49 demo rating of .12. A top AEW star turned babyface on Dynamite. Sammy Guevara went out to do an in-ring promo, and he talked about what's next for his life and career. Darby Allin walked out and praised Guevara and said that it sounds like the fans are on Guevara's side. Chris Jericho came out and said that if he got the call to help out, then Guevara would be the world champion. Guevara told Jericho that if he had called, then maybe Jericho wouldn't have lost twice to Adam Cole. Jericho proposed that he and Guevara team up next week to beat up Darby, but Sting came out and he and Jericho stood face to face in the ring for the first time. Earlier this week, Jericho said that he has no interest in wrestling Sting. That was obviously a red herring, and it looks like Sting and Jericho will wrestle each other before Sting retires later this year. During his latest audio show at pwtorchvip.com, Wade Keller dropped a cryptic note on CM Punk, and he hinted that it is something not good overall for AEW. I am under the impression between now and Saturday, there's going to be something that comes out that media-wise that is not going to help matters. Probably. I don't mean to be cryptic, but I haven't heard the details or seen enough to say much, but yeah, I just don't know. I just think it's going to be one of those weeks. I'll put it that way. For what I'm hearing behind the scenes in AEW, it's just going to be one of those weeks. Again, it is not clear yet what exactly this is, but there are less than 3 days left until Collision, so this news could break at any time. Last night on Dynamite, they aired a video of Punk talking about his official return this Saturday night on Collision. Punk said that he will have a lot to get off his chest when he speaks to the fans in Chicago. Whether that means he will talk about what happened between him and the Elite or something else is unclear. Weeks after Carlito was spotted in Orlando, Florida, reportedly doing something with WWE, another indicator that the company is bringing him in had come out as fans expressed their take that he should do more with WWE after making a surprise appearance for the first time since the Royal Rumble 2021 when he appeared at Backlash. Last month at Backlash, Carlito took part in a San Juan street fight between Damian Priest and Bad Bunny as he helped the LWO and Savio Vega in evening the odds against Judgment Day's Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio, who had interfered. While speaking on Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer noted Carlito pulled out of an independent show next month, and Devon Nicholson claimed Carlito told him that he had signed with WWE to make a return. On Wednesday's episode of AEW Dynamite, it was announced that AEW World Champion MJF would defend his title against Hiroshi Tanahashi at AEW New Japan's Forbidden Door 2 later this month in Chicago. Some fans have criticized the match booking considering MJF's positioning as the top star in AEW. Also, last year's Forbidden Door was headlined by Jon Moxley beating Tanahashi for the interim AEW World Heavyweight title. While speaking on Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer brought up how he is under the impression that within New Japan Pro Wrestling, Tanahashi is no longer seen as a top guy who is well protected and not booked to lose to wrestlers from other promotions like he had been years before. Meltzer speculated Tanahashi was chosen as MJF's opponent because he's someone with a name that can be beaten. That's it, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Please be sure to check out more videos from the channel. Remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and push that notification bell for daily wrestling videos. Once again, I'm KB the Mark, signing off. Until the next one. I started with nothing and came out a king. I've been the one that's been ballin' for rings. It's been me and my team and we chasing the green. My team be the shit, we ain't ballin' for free. My team be the shit, we ain't ballin' for free.